Hi, hello, dear students and friends. Hope you enjoyed General Organic Chemistry lecture number 6. We discussed zoometric isomerism with examples up to the last session. In the present session, I am going to discuss about elements of optical isomerism. That means I am going to discuss about optical isomerism and its introduction, as well as some details of optical isomerism in this session. Okay, let us move on to the session. What is exactly optical isomerism? That means compounds with similar physical as well as chemical properties, but are different only in their behavior towards plane polarized light are called as op optical isomers, and this property is known as optical isomerism. So before going to details, it is better to understand some terms related to optical isomerism. So that we will see. That is the first term I would like to tell you, that is polarized light. That means according to wave theory, an ordinary light vibrates randomly in all directions, known as unpolarized light. It contains oscillating electric and magnetic fields. When this ordinary unpolarized light is allowed to pass through a polarizing filter, the randomly vibrating light waves are passed through it, vibrate in only one direction. The vibrating light thus obtained is known as plane of polarized light. Plane of polarized light. Now we will see the direction of vibration is called axis of the filter, and we have a picture we are observing. There is vibrating light vibrating in all directions picture, and polarizing filter we are showing. This is the light source we are putting, and the light which is coming out of the filter. Okay, vibrating in single plane, that is called as plane polarized light. It's called as plane polarized light. Now you can understand what is exactly this optical activity. That means property of the compound through which it can rotate the plane polarized light when passed through it is optical activity, and the compounds that rotate the plane polarized light towards right side are called as dextrorotatory, while that of the compounds that rotate Suppose if a compound is rotating a compound that rotates the plane towards the left, rotates the plane towards the left, means counterclockwise. The left is called as counterclockwise. They are called, which are called levorotatory. Levorotatory. So these two terms are most important, understanding dextrorotatory and levorotatory. What is optical activity? The property of the compound that which rotates the plane polarized light when passed through it is called as optical activity, and that compounds are called as dextrorotatory compounds and levorotatory compounds depending on the rotation. Okay. Actually, these terms dextrorotatory and levorotatory are abbreviated by lowercase letters d and levorotatory L. DL will say. But according to the concept of this IUPAC, what this IUPAC is telling, the direction of the rotation is specified by as per IUPAC, as per IUPAC, the direction, whatever the direction is there, the direction of rotation is actually specified by the sign. That means that is a positive sign inside the parenthesis, that is for dextrorotatory and the negative sign for negative sign parenthesis for levorotatory. Isomer. So dextroisomer, levoisomer, these are the two things which are most important as per the IUPAC. So olden terminology is DL, D isomer, L isomer. Now as per IUPAC concepts and all, we have to tell there is a positive sign for dextrorotatory, and that means clockwise direction, and negative sign that is for the levorotatory, anti-clockwise direction of rotation. Now let us see one more important terminology involved in this one, that is called as asymmetric carbon. Asymmetric carbon atom. So most important terminology involved in before understanding the optical isomerism is asymmetric carbon. So what is exactly the meaning of asymmetric carbon is, for example, a carbon atom is there, you know, a carbon atom is there. The carbon atom having 4 different groups. If the carbon atom is attached with 4 different groups or atoms attached to it, then that is called a asymmetric carbon. Then it is known as asymmetric carbon. Asymmetric carbon atom Most important terminology this is. Or you can also use one more important terminology for this one, that is called as chiral carbon atom. Chiral carbon atom, asymmetric carbon atom. Another name is called as chiral carbon atom. Now you understand what we discussed in this the optical isomerism is. First we started with the optical isomerism definition, that is compounds with similar physical as well as chemical properties but are different only in their behavior towards plane of polarized light are called as optical isomers, and this property we are calling as optical isomerism. So what are the important terminology in this one is the first one is plane polarized light. So according to this one, we told any of the polarized light is there, that polarized light go in this direction. This is polarized light when we pass the light source. This is light source into the polarizing filter. This actually unpolarized light will go as per this direction. These are all directions, and polarized light will pass in one direction only into the onto the one direction only. That means that is about one important terminology. The second important terminology we discussed is optical activity. That means property of a compound which it can rotate the plane polarized light when passed through it. That is called as optical activity. And the compounds that rotate the plane polarized light which are towards the right called as dectorotatory, and the compound that rotates plane polarized light towards the left side or counterclockwise, they are called as levorotatory. So this is another important point we observed. After that, we came to know that D and L letters are actually small letters we will use, but as per IUPAC, the dextrorotatory is a positive sign and levorotatory negative sign we will use in the IUPAC system. Coming to the another important terminology we saw, that is asymmetric carbon atom. That means what is asymmetric carbon atom? The carbon atom that is having 4 groups or atoms attached to it is known as asymmetric carbon atom. So how the 4 groups should be there? 4 should be different. Most important point thing here, because carbon valence is 4. The group of atoms or groups attached to carbon always will be 4, but they should be different in saying that carbon atom is asymmetric carbon atom or chiral carbon atom. Okay, let us see another important thing here. We'll learn about most important terminology required for this one, that is chiral molecule. So what about the next one is chiral molecule. So what is chiral molecule? As we have discussed about chiral atom. Now, molecule is completely lacking of plane of symmetry is called as chiral molecule. So which molecule is called as chiral molecule? Molecule completely lacking plane of symmetry. Plane of symmetry actually is called chiral molecule. So once again observe, the molecule completely lacking plane of symmetry is called as chiral molecule. What is the meaning of this one is, that is nothing but it can also be defined as the one which is not superimposable. Molecule which is not superimposable. On its mirror image, or you can also call it as mirror reflection. Mirror reflection or you can also call the one in which the line of symmetrization is lacking. The line of symmetrization is lacking. That means one means molecule, which is also called as chiral molecule. So we can define chiral molecule in three different types. The first type is a molecule completely lacking plane of symmetry, simple, direct. Indirectly, can write a molecule that can be not superimposable on its mirror images is called as chiral molecule. Or a third way, you can write the one which the line of symmetrization is lacking, that is also called as chiral molecule. So what is chiral molecule? So to understand this one, we require some examples. So we will take some examples now. For example, if you take a carbon, the carbon is linked with A here, B here. The another one I am writing, that is like this, that I am calling as C. Another one I am writing as D, like this. So here what happened? You can also indicate this entire formula as like this: A, B, C, D. Here what happened? A, B, C are present in different atoms or groups. Then only I can say this carbon is chiral carbon atom and a molecule is chiral molecule. Here, what are A, B, C and D? They are different. I am assuming they are different groups or atoms. Then only this carbon is called as chiral carbon. The another example you can see, that is like this. I'll show you. You can write a bond like this given here, and after that can be shown like this, like this. Now I'm going to write you write up some information regarding this one here. Assuming this is a chiral one, right? Then it should be linked with here one atom is chlorine I'm giving. The another one here I'm writing OH, and here this is one more thing, that means I can say this is chiral. Assuming this is also chiral, then it might be having a different kind of group here, group of atoms. Here, assuming this is OH, so bond is with oxygen only, and another one here with hydrogen. Okay, so here what is happening here in the discussion is, I'm going to write here, this is correctly, this is, yeah, directly it is linked with this one. To get more clarity on this, like this. Now you observe, this can be written like CH3, this is CH3 actually, this is, now there are bonds, carbon atoms, this is CH3, so this is given OH, this is OH, this is Cl, If you want, I'll write it up. It will lengthy here. Like this. Okay. This is CH3. Now the point here noted is how many chiral carbon atoms are there? There are 2 chiral carbon atoms are there here. This is one. This is one. Here we have shown this one. Here. So this is entirely chiral in this, and here there are 2 are there. They are denoted by dots here. I am showing dot here. This is this is one example. Not only that one, I'll show you one more example. That is given like this. Here, here, here. Now, the point here is noticing some other bonds here. When you are considering there are chiral, this is OH, this is Br, this is OH, this is Br, this considering is NH2, this is Br, and this one is Cl. So this one is Cl. This one is Hers. So here in this particular point here, this point, this is one carbon chiral. This is one carbon chiral, and this is another carbon which is chiral. Now we can see this one in this way. 3 chiral carbon atoms here shown, and this is ethyl completely. This ethyl is CH2, CH3 only, and another one, this group is we have CH3 only, that is CH3, and rest of the other groups here, this is Cl, is OH, Cl, OH. Next we have where Br is that side only, we have to write yeah, this is Br only, Cl, Br, OH and Br indices, right? This is this side we have OH is there, this side we have Br is there, this one. Okay, we are coming from this direction. Now whichever is there from our side, that is thick line, this is okay. Whichever is a dot line is there, that is backside that plane. This is Br. Next we have H and Cl is there, H and Cl. So that is on right side. This H in the front side. Cl is the back side. Back side is this side also. Okay. Now we have how many are there? In the above we have observed that there are 2. There are 2 chiral atoms. There are 2 chiral carbon atoms we have shown. Here we are showing 3. Here 1, here 2, here 3 chiral carbon atoms. There are 3 chiral carbon atoms are there. Okay. These are the examples we observed. Now we observe once again. This is one chiral carbon atom we observed here. And this is first example. This is second example. We have shown 2 chiral carbon atoms in this. That means all the carbons, whatever we are saying, they are chiral carbons or asymmetric carbons, which are linked with a different group of atoms. Groups are group of atoms. And a third one, we have observed there are 3 chiral carbon atoms are there. So this is the observation we made for this molecule. Then what is the condition for a molecule should become a chiral? That means conditions we'll observe here. Conditions for a molecule to be chiral, the first condition I can say it must possess at least one chiral carbon atom. That means molecule must possess I can say at least, right? At least one chiral carbon atom. Then only that molecule is called as chiral molecule. Another point I can say, it must not possess any element of symmetry. Any element of symmetry as discussed. So these 2 points are very important to understand this chiral molecule. Okay, now let us observe what are the symmetries. We won't discuss about what are the symmetries. One symmetry is called as plane of symmetry. One is called as plane of symmetry. One type of symmetry is called as plane of symmetry. Now let's discuss what is exactly the plane of symmetry. What is exactly the plane of symmetry? Here a plane which divides the molecule into two equal halves, is considered as plane of symmetry. Plane of symmetry, which is actually denoted by sigma symbol. Sigma is a symbol like this. And plane of symmetry, actually plane of symmetry in various molecules we can see now. Molecules, we'll see the various molecules, how we will represent. That means we are going to tell about the representation. Representation we'll see now. Examples, different examples. That is, we will take an example here. That is carbon oxygen double bond is there. And one side chlorine is there, another side another chlorine is there. Okay. If you see this example, the plane we can now write it off like this. We can write a plane like this. Here what is happening in this one is when plane is perpendicular to the plane, that means the plane perpendicular to the molecular plane is passed on which carbon oxygen bond lies. Okay, this is what we have noticed. I can write it off here. This is carbon. Okay. So here what we observed is, this is called as plane of symmetry. In this, what is the plane of symmetry? When this is plane, when a plane perpendicular to the molecular plane, which is passed on which the carbon oxygen bond lies, or yeah, this is the point first you observe here. What you have noticed here is, this is the plane we have noticed perpendicular to the molecular plane passed on carbon oxygen bond. Okay, where carbon oxygen bond is there, or that perpendicularity is there. The other thing is nothing but one chlorine appears in this one. One chlorine appears at the reflection point of the other chlorine, This is what we observed. So you can understand here the reflection points. These are reflection points. Okay, that's what noticed here in this picture. Next, we'll see one more thing here, that is a similar type of thing. Here is one example we saw. Similarly, now you understand what is plane of symmetry. Similarly, we'll see a unsaturated one. Carbon-carbon double bond is there in that. You will see. Here we have one hydrogen is there. We have one chlorine is also there here, this direction. Another one on this side, left side, we have one hydrogen is there. We have another chlorine is present here. Here chlorines. So I can, I'll show you chlorine like this. This is chlorine. These are hydrogen atoms. Now, I am going to write a plane here. Like this. So what you observed here is, you can observe this plane of symmetry now, where chlorines are having reflection points, hydrogen reflection points are there. And this plane kept in the perpendicular to the carbon oxygen bond only. Okay. Else you can keep in the other direction also if you want. I'll show you. If it is confusion, then I'll show you in another way. That is this is only the best way of understanding. Okay, right, this is better. Now you can observe, this is only the better one. Now, this is one example. Another example, I'm going to write third one, that is a carbon with 4 different groups of atoms. This is I'm taking hydrogen. This is fluorine. This is chlorine. This is bromine. It's not bromine. This is if you write, this is chiral. This I am taking chlorine. Now, what is the thing here? I have noticed that we put a plane here, then what will happen? Reflection points will be on chlorines. This is an example. Likewise, we have another example is there. You'll see another example. Here we have a carbon is there, and this carbon is linked with another carbon. There are some hydrogens here. Here a chlorine is present. Here also one chlorine is present. And in this direction there is one bromine atom. And in this direction there is one bromine atom. So here I am keeping chlorine atoms. So what we have noticed here, these are the chiral carbon atoms. And here in this picture, we assume this is fourth one. I am taking this is fourth one. We have noticed a plane if you kept here between them. So what will happen? Yeah. If you keep a plane here, automatically you can see the reflections of chlorine atoms and reflections of bromine atoms. So these two will get reflected. These are the reflecting points. These two bromine atoms, here bromine is there. I am showing here bromine. These two reflection points you can observe. So only what we have noticed here is, here bromine I will write clearly. Yeah, this is bromine, and reflection points are very clear. Here in this we have chlorine, chlorine, chlorine reflection points, bromine, bromine reflection points. Another example, see, that is like this we have a pentagon is there. Here there are hydrogen atoms, here and here. Here Cl, here Cl. I have kept one mirror here. I'll show you that mirror with another color. Then what will happen here? Yeah, this will remove. We'll keep another kind of mirror here. So automatically reflection points are very clear. Here reflection points. Okay, so in this what you have observed is there are different examples in which what you understand from the plane of symmetry is when a plane which is perpendicular to the molecular plane which is passed on which carbon oxygen bond lies, or one chlorine appears at the reflection point of the other chlorine. In this example we have shown. In the other example, these two are chlorines are reflection points and hydrogens here, and fluorine and hydrogen there is no reflection point, but chlorine reflection points are shown here. In this example we have chlorine bromine reflection points here and here we have shown. So what we have noticed from these examples is nothing but plane of symmetry we have understand in such a way that a plane which divides the molecule into two equal halves and is considered as plane of symmetry and denoted by sigma, and the plane of symmetry is now said to be of various representations what we have observed here, like 1 2 3. There are 5 examples, up to 5 examples we saw. Several examples definitely we'll be discussing in the next session. And moving on to the another important last important terminology. Another important terminology here is point of symmetry. Point of symmetry. So what is point of symmetry? Understand? What do you mean by point of symmetry? Let us understand this one. A center of symmetry is a point in a molecule. A center of symmetry, center of symmetry is a point in a molecule from which drawing two lines, from which drawing two lines 180 degrees apart. While what will happens, we will find at the time we will find the identical atoms. The identical atoms are groups at equal distance. Okay. Once again, I'll repeat this one. That is, a center of symmetry is a point in a molecule from one which drawing two lines 180 degrees apart will find the identical atoms groups at equal distance. Okay. So to understand this one, we have to check one example here. I am going to write you a picture here now, like this. After writing this picture, I'll show you. There is a point here, center is there here. Suppose this is the center. And passing through this one, I am going to write the lines here. This is one. The other one, I am going to write like this. Okay. Here, if you draw hydrogen atoms, some items here in this discussion. Some atoms here. Like this. And here. And here. So assuming these are the hydrogen atoms, this is hydrogen and this is bromine, this is bromine, this is hydrogen, and there are some attachments also I am showing here, and this is CH3, this is also CH3. Okay. Now, the point of symmetry diagrammatically now we are represented here. That is a molecule which is having point of symmetry. Center of the symmetry, point of symmetry has a center of the symmetry, and superimposable on its mirror image. Superimposable on its mirror image does not rotate the plane polarized light, hence optically inactive. It does not rotate the plane of polarized light because this is optically inactive. It has a center of symmetry. That means this is the molecule carbon. Now what we noticed here is superimposable on its mirror images. The hydrogen, bromine, like it is observed clearly, bromine. So if you observe this mirror image, these are said to be superimposable on its mirror image or mirror reflection. Mirror image or mirror reflection that does not rotate plane polarized light. Plane polarized light. That's why this is not said to be optically active. This is optically inactive. That means any kind of the molecule is there that must not possess any element of symmetry. Then if symmetry is there, that is not said to be chiral molecule. Okay. So to understand about the chiral molecules, this is the most important restriction, that means observation to be done. Here one is we discussed is plane of symmetry. The other one we discussed is point of symmetry. The second one we discussed about the point of symmetry. Now another important type of symmetry we'll see, that is called as axis of symmetry. To conclude this session, axis of symmetry. So here, what about axis of symmetry definition? You see, the axis by which when any molecule is rotated by 360 degrees by n degree in it, converts the molecule into similar structure. Into similar structure, and that kind of symmetry is called as, that is called as axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. So which is what is the axis of symmetry? The axis by which when any molecule is rotated, this is molecule only, any molecule rotated by 360 degrees by n, then it converts the molecule into a similar structure, that is called as axis of symmetry. They may be called as two-fold axis of symmetry and all these things. That we'll take an example now, that is carbon oxygen double bond is there. We have taken the same example in the beginning of plane of symmetry here. Now we are noticing that there is a line we are going to write here in the middle. Like this. Okay. And what it will do is it will rotate the plane of symmetry. This is, it will rotate the axis, this rotation of axis. This is, even I can write this one like a normal arrow mark. Let's rotate. And here hydrogen, assume this is A, this is B. To understand after rotation, what is the picture? So a two-fold axis of symmetry is possible. Two-fold axis of symmetry is possible in this one. Now we will observe one thing here, that is rotation. How much this is rotation by 180 degrees. We'll see about the axis. First, out of plane of paper. First we'll see 180 degrees rotation. We'll get similar structure or not. Yeah, we will see carbon oxygen double bond. Let me write little clearly. Oxygen double bond, and hydrogens will come because both are same. That's why we are assuming now. That's why this is became B, this is became A. But in general, we don't know. Okay, they are same type, same atoms are there, so it is not important in the discussion. So now, I'll write a line here. What it indicates that similar structure is obtained now. We observe first one and this one, we got similar structure. See, 360 by n is nothing but, suppose if you have rotated 180 degrees is there. So n is 180. Okay. Now we will discuss other molecule also in this. That means there are some other molecules, how this axis of symmetry they are showing. There are other molecules which are having the axis of symmetry R. Now we will take an example of BF3. As you all know that boron trifluoride is best example for it. I will write the lines if you want for clear understanding. Here one line. Okay. So here what I am assuming is bromine atoms. This is fluorine atoms I am assuming now. Fluorine atom. Here fluorine atom. Here fluorine atom. Now you can observe there is imaginary lines to understand the structure. This is another one. This is another one. Okay. Here in this case, particular case, you draw a line, imagination line here. Imaginary line I am writing here like this. Okay. Then the rotation, if you do the rotation like this, a two-fold axis of symmetry, assuming this fluorine is A, this is B. Here what will happen? A two-fold axis of symmetry. You can, that means 180 by 2. 360 by 180 is two-fold axis. Now we can see that one. This is again called as rotation by 180 degrees about the axis out of plane of paper. Out of plane of paper. Now we will construct the same boron trifluoride BF3. We have lines I will take. The other one I am taking here, this side. The third bond I am taking downwards like this. Okay. Now I can keep the fluorine atoms. This is fluorine, this is fluorine, this is fluorine. But this fluorine is B, this is A. And I can attach the lines here again. This is one. This is another one. The next one. Things are very clear here. That means if you draw a line two-fold axis here, you can observe the similar structure. This structure is said to be similar structure which is obtained again like the first one. The similar structure obtained. similar structure is obtained. This is a structure. Obtained. Okay. If that is case, that is the case boron trifluoride. If you write in the other different angle of fluorine and this one, assuming these are the fluorine, see along the C fluorine we observe this one. Assume this is the fluorine C. This is C. If you take it with the another direction, how twofold axis of boron trifluoride can be written in a brief manner. I will show you. That is here boron trifluoride is there. Boron trifluoride. So fluorine atoms I am writing here. Here fluorine atoms I am writing. For instance, if this is looking like this one, okay, and the line fold axis I am writing like this, and you can observe this is the rotation. In this I am taking, this is C, this is A, this is B, and here a twofold axis of symmetry I can show. Twofold axis of symmetry. So when you are saying twofold axis of symmetry, it is 180 degrees rotation, 180 degrees rotation out of plane of paper. Okay, so then it will be like this. Okay, here fluorine atoms are there. The fluorine atoms here are this is not C, this is B. This is C, this is C. So completely changed, see. But the structure is similar because you're observing this line like this. Structure is similar. So you have rotated along this plane only. 180 degrees rotation. What happened? We observed there is a plane of paper out of it. If you check it, similar structure is obtained in this rotation. This is coming here, and this B is coming to here, and this A is coming to here. That is the way we observed. Okay. It's fine. Observed that this line, whatever this line is there, this line you have written given like this. This is fluorine. This is fluorine. Now, what is this? This is where C is there. There B came. Where A is there, C came. There B is there. There is this is C came. This is A came like this. So what we observed is structure is same structure. Similar structure we have observed in this. Hope you have observed the structure boron trifluorides here. Understand the one thing in this one is the molecule possesses n-fold axis is there. We observe two-fold axis. An altering axis of symmetry. What is an altering axis of symmetry? Is nothing but an alternating axis. what is the alternating axis of symmetry we will discuss in this one. Is molecule possess n-fold alternating axis. Alternating axis of symmetry when rotated through an angle of when rotated through an angle of, whatever the angle is, 360 degrees by n about this axis. About this axis, and then followed by the reflection in the plane perpendicular to the axis, and then followed by the reflection in a plane perpendicular to the axis. Then the molecule is same as it was. Then what is happening? Then the molecule is the same as it was in the starting position. As it is in the starting position. So for that, we need to understand the axis of rotation with a very simple example. So what to understand from this one is n-fold axis of alternating symmetry. How we can understand is when we rotate the molecule about an angle of 360 degrees by n about an axis, then the reflection of plane perpendicular to the axis followed by perpendicular to the axis, then the molecule is same as it was in the starting position. So it is very difficult to understand this one without an example. Now we will see an example to conclude this aspect of axis of symmetry. We have a molecule is there here like this. I'll write here one. Similarly, I'm going to write another one. I'm going to write the another one like this. Just a minute. Suppose if you draw a line in this one for some atoms, if you write the draw a line here. Here I am showing here one line, and here one line, that is bond, and next one more is present here, and next the other one here I am showing. Okay, then assuming the elements, that means atoms, this is chlorine, so putting that is yellow better. This is fluorine, this is hydrogen, this is chlorine, here hydrogen, fluorine, hydrogen. Now here you'll be observing one axis here, about an axis I'm showing. This is an axis, and if this rotation observed like this rotation. Then this is called as axis of rotation. Axis of rotation about 180 degrees. Assume this is about 180 degrees rotation. Then what will be the resultant? The resultant we'll see. Now this is one bond I am taking. The other bond I am taking here like this. The other one taking here. Just a minute. And yeah, I am taking another bond here. Sorry. Like this. One more is required that I am taking here outside. This also will cancel it. Yeah. All these things I will fill it now rapidly for this illustration. Okay. Now we'll write the symbols. Here fluorine is there. Here hydrogen, chlorine, Cl, hydrogen, fluorine. You observe. And in this axis of rotation, here also perpendicular to the plane. See, at the same time, perpendicular plane showing like this. This can be written few. Yeah. The here plane is there. Next, the reflection plane I am showing here. This is reflection plane only. Or else you can write another picture, that is just a minute. Yeah, this is reflection plane only. This shows a reflection plane. And here I am showing the chlorine atom here. This is hydrogen. Here fluorine. This is hydrogen. This is chlorine, hydrogen. This is fluorine, hydrogen. As it is the first one. So the axis of rotation, the second picture I am showing. This is the axis of rotation again. Again, if you do that one, you will get this one, third one. That is same as the starting position. Starting position of the molecule. Okay. So here, what is the thing is, first picture if you observe, in the first picture, the rotation 180 degrees done. And also telling in this discussion, we have a point which is raised in this one, that is nothing but about an axis that is followed by the reflection of plane perpendicular to the axis as it was in the starting position. So here that is nothing but our 180 degrees of angle is shown. One more time we are shown. Then what happened? The reflections we have observed for atoms, where the reflection is, this is completely inverted here, this picture, second one. Okay. Okay, this is what about the discussion. So in this present session, I have discussed about important terminology required for this isomerism. What is the isomerism? That is optical isomerism related informations. Important terminology we have discussed in this session. So what we have observed in this session is important elements of optical isomerism. So optical isomerism definition, and also what about the plane polarized light. Not only that one, we have discussed about the optical activity definition, chiral carbon atom or asymmetric carbon atom, its definition, and what are the conditions to be a molecule to behave like a chiral molecule, and also what about the elements of symmetry. In that there are few examples: plane of symmetry as well as center of symmetry, and axis of symmetry, alternating axis of symmetry, how it will take place, how we can get the similarity of the molecules. Any kind of axis of symmetry is there means that is not said to be considered as optically active molecule. So in the coming session, we will come with direct organic molecules to understand this optical activity, and this can be again explained whenever the example is doubt and the definition is doubt. We'll repeat in the sessions whichever required on demand. Okay. Thank you very much for watching my this session of optical isomerism after the geometrical isomerism on this previous session. So this session is geometrical general organic chemistry number 7, and next session we will come with general organic chemistry number 8 with more and more interesting definitions and examples of optical isomerism. Thank you very much for this session.